Hello and welcome back to the Avoid the Tyrewall podcast. Today I'm joined by very special guest, Trevor Carlin. Trevor, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself?
So I'm Trevor Carlin. I'm sporting director, team principal of Rodin Carlin, the junior Formula race team. So we do British Formula 4, Spanish F4, the F1 Academy series, GB3, FIF3 and F2.
So where did your passion for racing come from?
Well, like every little boy, I loved cars when I was a kid, you know, I was lucky enough when I was 20 to be involved with a little Formula 4 team that was nearby where I used to live. I used to go and help them out, clean wheels and stuff like that, and the rest is sort of history, really.
What does it take to create a successful racing team?
Well, first it needs a lot of time and effort. It needs someone to lead it that's got some experience and has done everything, so done every job in a race team, and then use that skill to hire and pick the right people to work in that team, because you know a team is a lot of people, it's not just one person.
What would you say are the key values of Carlin?
Well, we're a hard-working bunch of people. We like to look after our drivers and our staff. We're very loyal. We love motor racing. We work very hard, and we have a lot of fun when we can.
Are you still in contact with any of your former drivers?
Yeah, we see lots of them at the circuit. You know, there's still quite a few of them doing Formula 1, so I see them every weekend at the Formula 2. And then, you know, Formula E, we see a lot of the guys in that. Max Chilton we see, because we still do some business with him. So, you know, I can't say I see him on a daily basis, but we're in touch, and they treat us exactly the same today as they did when they drove for us.
Do you have any tips for aspiring racers?
Well, it's quite simple really. Work as hard as you can, keep pushing and never give up.
At what age did you decide to start Carlin?
I never decided to start a race team at all. It happened by accident. So it was 1997, so I would have been, 1997, I'd have been 34.
Why did you choose to base the team in Surrey?
Well, it's where I used to work for a company that built racing cars. There was a lot of racing infrastructure in the area, McLaren, Brabham, people like that. So it made sense to be based there. A lot of good people work and live in that area, and Surrey is a really nice place to live.
Are the chassis tailor-made to your spec, or are they off the shelf?
The chassis are technically off the shelf. However, once we get them, we strip them into 1,000 pieces and rebuild them, so we tailor-make them to suit us ourselves.
Is there a specific series that you would like to expand into?
There's lots of great championships out there. We do a lot of them already. We would be quite keen to get involved in Le Mans prototypes if possible. That's quite exciting now, very competitive. The cars are effectively single-seaters with bodywork on now, so we'd like to do that again.
So, as you're like the head honcho, for want of a better phrase, what does a race weekend involve?
For me, to be honest, the hard work from my point of view is done before we get here. It's having the right guys in place, having all the drivers and the budgets in place. The weekend for me, I come along and hopefully, if I'm lucky, I drink some tea, have a nice bacon and egg sandwich and chat to the guys, and don't need to get too involved. I mean, today obviously we've just had a crash, so I might help the guys out a little bit and fix that, but in general I leave the guys to it.
How do you select your drivers? Like, is there a process behind it?
Well, it's motor racing, the junior level is quite complicated, because it's the drivers that come to us have to bring budget, so it's a balancing act of getting the right drivers with enough budget to do the job. So there's a lot of gut instinct goes into it.
Are there set penalties, for the drivers and for the teams?
Well, there's rules.
Yeah.
And there's different rules for every championship. So I suppose the answer is yes.
Which track would you like to remove from the race calendars?
Remove?
Yeah.
I don't think there's any we'd like to remove. We like racing everywhere. You know, that's what we do. No, I wouldn't like to remove any.
Which is your favourite track?
Favourite track, I suppose. Legacy-wise, I'm always a fan of Macau in the Far East. We started off as an F3 team, and the Macau race is the biggest F3 race, so we've always enjoyed that one.
Do you have a motto or a mantra?
We have a motto. It's really simple, and it's get cracked on.
I like eat pasta, drive faster.
Get cracked on.
Do you have a favourite series that you race in? Well,
No.
not you, so fair enough. Did you yourself have a go at racing?
No.
How did the partnership with Rodin Cars evolve?
Well, Mr. Dicker, the owner of Rodin Cars, very kindly supported Liam Lawson in F2 with us. At the last minute, he asked us if we'd run Lewis Sharp in British F4. This is 12 months ago, which we did, and then I got to know David, and I could tell he was really, really passionate about cars, motor racing, and supporting young talent. So we had a lot in common. Mr. Chilton, my partner at the time, was looking to do other ventures. So I thought the timing could be right to see if Mr. Dick would be interested in being involved. He was, and very simply and very quickly we did a deal. So it was the stars aligned.
Do you have a race mode and a quali mode on your cars, and if so, what is the difference?
No,
Oh, fair enough.
we don't.
What made you want to join the F1 Academy grid?
Well, I mean, we're a very open, inclusive team, always have been. We'd like to encourage anybody to come and work at Carlin if they're qualified, and that includes drivers. To us, the business model for the W Series wasn't quite right in my mind, but a female, getting more girls into motor racing was a big thing. So when we heard about it, it was as one of my other catchphrases saying it was a no-brainer for us to do it. So we're doing it. And Stephanie, my wife, is team principal, and she's basically set that team up, and she runs it, and she's got her first test on Monday in Barcelona.
You say that you might help the lads in, obviously, a crash car and things like that. Have you done everything from the bottom to where you are now?
Everything.
Yeah. You're not averse to diving in and getting your hands dirty?
No, I love it. But they don't want me helping. I get in the way, they say.
Oh, right.
And to be honest, I tend to break things and cut my fingers, and so it's probably better if I don't get involved. And there's enough of them anyway. But I do like to. I like to keep my hand in.
How many hours a week does the job take up, roughly?
Well, they pretty much. Whenever I'm awake, I'm thinking about work.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So that's 7 days a week, and take off the 8 hours when I'm hopefully sleeping or dreaming or having a nightmare. But the rest of the time I'm thinking about work.
What is your worst scenario from a race weekend?
Worst scenario?
Yeah. Result-wise or damage-wise or?
No, the only thing that would seriously concern me was if a driver or a member of staff got hurt.
Yeah.
Because anything else is only money and it's only parts. Doesn't matter what else could happen.
No.
As long as people don't get hurt or injured, that's all that concerns me the most.
Do you see, obviously these cars here have got halos. Is that the way forward for all single seat races, do you think?
It absolutely is, and I believe it actually is now.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a modern single seater made that doesn't have a halo, and I've been pushing for it since well before they were introduced, because we lost a dear friend, Henry Surtees, due to a head injury. He wasn't driving for us, but that doesn't matter. The consequences were still the same, and if it had a halo on that car, he would have survived.
Just a silly question, really. You're all competitors, but are you all friends? All team bosses, team principals?
It's a bit like anything in life, really. You're friendlier with some people more than others.
Yeah.
I don't have anyone that I have a bad relationship with.
No.
and I can't say I'm down the pub every night with some of them either.
No.
So some I get on better with, and some I don't talk to.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're professionals doing a professional job. That's it.
We saw you talking to Jonathan Palmer earlier. Do you count him as a friend, a colleague?
Oh, pretty much so, yeah. I've known Jonathan now for a long time. His son used to drive for me.
Oh, really?
So I've known Jonathan a long time. I really respect what he's done for the sport,
Yeah.
because he's kept all these circuits open. If Oulton Park or Brands Hatch had been bought by somebody else that didn't love motor racing so much, maybe they would have been closed and developed to be a housing estate now.
Yeah.
So I think thanks to Jonathan Palmer and MSV, the circuits are thriving, and we have somewhere to do our work, and you have somewhere to come and watch and love motor racing.
Yeah.
So
And it's a great day out as well.
it's a great day.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, if I wasn't working here, I'd come.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of the Avoid the Tyrewall podcast, and thank you for Trevor for doing this interview. See you next week. Goodbye.